Good afternoon. Welcome to my May 20th briefing on COVID-19. COVID-19 is affecting our community, and the city is working hard to balance between the health and the safety of our residents and facilitating our economic recovery. The situation continues to be fluid, and we're learning as we go. We have been adapting to changing circumstances, and we're building a more resilient processes and procedure to accomplish city business. We've invited creativity, and we've encouraged people to think outside the box about how to support our local businesses and assure our most vulnerable community members are getting the support they need in this trying time. We're working across boundaries, and we're emphasizing coordination between departments. We're reinforcing our partnerships with our local cities by keeping in close contact with all local mayors. We have an open dialogue with the county commissioners, our state representatives, our senators, and the governor's office, and with Congressman Rick Larson. We also work closely with Island Hospital, and we're following Skagit County Health Department's guidelines. Although we're on an island, we're part of a larger interconnected community. We're part of Skagit County. We're Washingtonians. We're Americans, all working together to slow this spread of COVID-19. We're working hard so you can focus on what's important, your health and your family's health. Right now, there's a total of 425 cases, which includes 247 recoveries, 50 hospitalizations, and 15 deaths in Skagit County. What you do right now is important. I know this is hard, and we're getting ready for phase 2, which could be here in 2 weeks or more, if we all commit to staying the course and staying home for now. I want to make sure that we reach as many people as possible with these briefings. So this week, we're adding these videos to the city's official YouTube page. And starting next week, we will be live streaming and briefing on Anacortes' Fire Department's Facebook page. Please follow the page so you can watch these briefings live on Facebook. We're on our way through phase 1 of the governor's recovery plan. We must stay strong. We're all exhausted, and we've been financially impacted. If we stay the course in the short term, we'll move toward the opportunity to get back to that sense of normalcy and recovery in the long term. The gravity and devastation of this threat is real, and there are nearly 1.6 million cases currently in the United States. Almost 100,000 people have died, and globally there's 4.8 million people, and there are 1,000 families who have suffered the terrible loss of loved ones due to this virus. These numbers keep us committed to keeping the following guidance and our health officials. The loss of life is tragic, and each and every one of us plays a part in helping keeping our community safe and following the governor's plan. We should be seeing the end of phase 1 soon, which should reinforce our commitment to staying home and staying safe. As the governor and the State Department of Health evaluate the state's health indicators, we'll move to phase 2, which will be a welcome change for all of us. Governor continues to release guidance on specific industry. Each industry has requirements and worksite safety plans to implement before reopening. It addresses workplace safety, cleanliness, interaction with customers, a detailed step-by-step instructions different industries have to follow. Many industries that are able to open in phase 2 have already received guidance so they can be prepared and think about how they get back to business in Anacortes when that time arrives. Businesses have been creative in finding ways to connect with their customers through delivery, creation of new online ordering. Some communities have even seen the return of the milkman. Staying connected in this time is not easy, but through partnerships, the city's planning department, we're working with our downtown merchants and our restaurants on ways to expand services onto our sidewalk, creating a town plaza feel to our commercial district. Currently, vessel and vehicle sales, drive-in religious service, retail outlets providing curbside service, pet walking, landscaping have had guidance for reopening. This week, it is also announced that elective medical procedures may resume. That means that all medical and dental practices can assess their readiness to determine when they can begin to offer non-urgent medical and dental procedures. Island Hospital has reopened all its services. As we eagerly look towards phase 2, I want to commend the many business owners who are already working hard to implement new systems to maintain workplace safety and public health. The industries that can have a reference guidance issued by the governor's office are construction, professional photography services, pet grooming, personal services, and professional services. For phase 2, all construction activities have been authorized to proceed, whether previously authorized, newly authorized, existing, or non-existing. Prior to commencing work, all contractors are required to develop a comprehensive COVID-19 exposure control, mitigation, and recovery plan. Professional photography services include studio photography, videography, event photography, and freelance and artistic work that have been issued reopening guidance. The pet grooming industry, including retail operations, veterinarian clinics, and other facilities that provide cleaning, trimming, hygienic services for domestic animals, have also been issued reopening guidance and requirements. Personal services include cosmetologists, hairdressers, barbers, estheticians, master estheticians, manicurists, nail salon workers, electrolysis, permanent makeup artists, tattoo artists, cosmetology schools, and esthetician schools. This does not include massage therapy, acupuncture, physical therapy, and chiropractic, which will receive special specific requirements. Professional services include accountants, attorneys, architects, engineers, financial advisors, information technologists, insurance agents, tax preparers, and other office-based occupations. There have been an expansion on the golf requirements and recommendations for phase 2, in addition to permission of certain outdoor activities in small groups, as well as limited non-essential travel. Traditional dining restaurants, quick service food operations, fixed and mobile food trucks, hotel kitchens, cafes, juice bars, breweries, and public houses will be open at less than 50% capacity with table sizes of less than 10 people and no bar seating. As business owners start to rethink on how to reopen in this way, what is safe for their employees and customers, there's been a lot of uncertainty. Please review and closely follow these new protocols and procedures that have been issued by the governor. That is the best way to get your business back into business soon and safely. Phase 3 is still several weeks away, but we at the city are already preparing for phase 3 because this is the phase where we'll be able to get back to doing some of our city business in person right here in City Hall. Once we enter phase 3, we'll have a partial reopening of the library, the museum, and of course, right here in the council chambers. Phase 3 begins, people will be able to resume non-essential travel. All other business activities will resume except for nightclubs and events for more than 50 people. Our local restaurants will be allowed at that time to have 75% capacity and table sizes less than 10. Indoor gyms and movie theaters will open at 50% capacity. Phase 4 is the full return to public interaction. We're expecting to arrive at this phase mid to late summer. Even when we get to phase 4, physical distancing will not go away. I know that the situation is extremely difficult, but it's important to remember this is not permanent. Soon we'll be able to have lunch with friends, get our hair done, get back to seeing each other in person. The city is working hard to facilitate this. We look forward to seeing you again. But for the time being, we must stay home and keep ourselves and our families safe. The city's response has been a commitment to maintaining services and keeping you informed. We're looking forward to our recovery, and now we can build more resilient systems and processes here at the city so we can be prepared to respond to any crisis. Our city employees are the cornerstone behind our essential services, and they continue to work diligently serving the community every day. The Anacortes Public Library, the Anacortes Senior Center, the Anacortes Museum, and City Hall remain closed to the general public. Our Boys and Girls Club will be looking at limited reopening starting in June. The Boys and Girls Club will have reduced capacity, and there will be thorough safety measures put in place. The Boys and Girls Club is located here in the basement of City Hall. Your local police department continues to protect our city. Although the lobby remains closed and we're not offering fingerprint services at this time, the police department has also found innovative ways to stay connected. The department has even done a few birthday parades, requests for kids who cannot have a birthday party this year. Please do your part and follow the speed limits and do not use your cell phones while driving. The Anacortes Police Department has received several reports of fraudulent unemployment claims from local residents who are still working and have not filed for unemployment. If you're a victim, visit the Washington State Employment Security Department's website to fill a claim and closely monitor your accounts for other fraudulent activities. The Washington State Employment Security Department's website is the best contact for victims since they will issue a claim number and can deny and cancel fraudulent claims. If you have filed a claim on this site, there is no longer a need to call 911 to speak to an officer. The fire department continues to respond to COVID-19 pandemic, and that has resulted in significant changes in the way we do business. Thankfully, all these changes are behind the scenes with regards to preparation, protection, and decontamination. The medical care delivered to our citizens by the EMS professionals has had a discernible change and continues to be fast, reliable, skillful, and compassionate. Prior to responding to each emergency call, the EMS professional must don face masks, face shields, gowns, gloves, and shoe protection. Immediately following each emergency call, all medical equipment, the entire ambulance must be cleaned and decontaminated. This occurs 10 to 12 times per day, every day. The diligence of these outstanding men and women has resulted in no positive cases of the virus among the fire department staff or transmission of the virus to patients they treat or transport to the emergency department. Please join me in saying Happy EMS Week and give a heartfelt thank to your fire department staff. This week we celebrate EMS first responders and the important work that they do in our city and in our community. This year's theme is EMS Strong, Ready Today, Preparing for Tomorrow. This theme is particularly meaningful now as we see the EMS community rallying to support those affected by this crisis, all while still responding to everyday emergencies that continue throughout our community. Thank you for your dedication in providing the day-to-day life-saving services on the front line of this COVID-19 pandemic. This week, the library has 2 exciting virtual programs as part of their ongoing series. While the library's been closed, they have found new ways to reach our community. Tonight's episode, Together We Discover, will feature one of Anacortes' oldest retailers, The Business, which began in 1978 and was recently named the best record store in Washington State. Friday, the library will partner with other Skagit County libraries to host a live author visit via Zoom at 2 p.m. Middle grade author Karina Young Glasser, author of popular series The Vanderbeekers, will share her writing process with students and then answer questions live. In upcoming weeks, look for special guest story times from local citizens, including an underwater adventure with Public Works and a very special library story time with yours truly. The library staff miss seeing you every day and have asked me to thank you for reading and sharing with us while we all stay home. The Washington Park Campground is closed, and we will reopen in Phase 2 in line with the governor's phase reopening and to bring back camping. Right now, the Parks Department is pursuing collaboration opportunities with the library and the museum. The staff is working together on a summer program ideas for youth and adults. With the cancellation of many of our summer events, there's a void in our summer educational and recreational opportunities in our community. We're working on creative ways to meet the needs. The city's priority is public health, and we believe that physical health is also an important component. If possible, we'll provide programming in a socially distanced virtual capacity. Mother's Day weekend was a struggle for our parks around the state to enforce physical distancing. We were no exception. Our staff worked at Whistle Lake and the major Anacortes community forest land trailheads, trying to limit parking and encouraging distancing. Our park staff is working really hard to provide outreach and educate the community on the importance of physical distancing with Memorial Day weekend coming. The park staff will continue to be present to remind our residents and visitors that we all need to recreate responsibly. I continue to work with the finance director and the other departments to identify areas of the budget for opportunities where we can make cuts. At this point, we've identified $2.2 million in budget savings in this current year. The city is working to prepare for the effects of the decrease in sales tax revenue. Late last week, we received the sales tax revenue amount for March's sales, which was the first indication of the quarantine order to affect our sales tax revenue, and it was 36% below budget. Due to the city's good fiscal management and stewardship and our proactive staff, we have prepared to continue building efficiency and resiliency into our city business. We know the businesses can continue to slow down and close through the month of April, and we have closely monitored the nationwide metrics showing April's retail sales dropping well more than expected. Like all local governments across the state and the country, we're bracing for a significant impact to governmental revenues over the next few months. We will continue to update you as we learn more, and you can be reassured we're working hard to be dynamic in our response to these budget shortfalls. During the City Hall closure, customers have also taken advantage of the city's utility billing auto pay function. We had 64 new auto pay customers in the last month. We've had a very generous community, and over the course of the pandemic, there have been a number of residents reach out to the utility department and make a payment for a friend or family member. We also have had community members reach out and ask if they can help in general utility customer base. And for those, we direct them to the Salvation Army or the St. Vincent de Paul. We both have great systems to support those in need, including a utility billing assistance program. I would like to thank you all who have reached out to help. These actions is part of what makes Anacortes the wonderful community that it is. In our Planning, Community, and Economic Development Department, Single-family residential permits are up 27 this year compared to 12 last year. Single-family remodels to date are 50 to compare to 57 last year. Overall, the total permit numbers this year to date are 238 compared to 279 last year. We have seen less small permits such as plumbing and mechanical this year and more large jobs. With construction starting back, we have been quite busy with inspections, virtually and on-site. Some inspections are more complicated and require an on-site visit with health and safety protocols in place. Last week, the planning department received over 100 calls. As business resumes, we can tell that people are happy to be back at work, and we're happy to be here to help. The council and I are committed to helping our small businesses. The Small Business Stabilization Grants are a way to help the cost of our small businesses get back to business soon. To be eligible for these grants for up to $10,000, you must be in a business located in Anacortes with not more than 30 employees. The application and fact sheet are available on the city's website. To date, we've received 17 applications, and we're accepting applications through May 29th. The decision of who will be awarded the grants and how much will be awarded will be made by a group of 6 community members representative of Anacortes' business community. In Public Works, the City of Anacortes is continuing to provide basic public works services in midst of this corona pandemic. Safe, reliable drinking water, collection of trash, recycling, composting, wastewater processing, maintaining and improving our street system, and providing a street cleaning are among the many areas where things remain business as usual for the city and our residents. Trash, recycling, and composting collections are continuing on their normal schedules. Monday is Memorial Day, so that if your collection falls on Monday, please place your cans out for Tuesday for a normal collection by 7 a.m. With people staying home, and some people have opted to increase their trash cart size and add composting services or add additional trash cart, if you need additional prepaid garbage bags, you can pick them up at Ace Hardware, Sebos Hardware, the Market Grocery Store. You also can call the Utilities Department for coordination at City Hall for a porch pickup. Public Works has not slowed down. Behind the scenes, while you do your part to stay home and stay safe, the City Public Works team has been completing essential work. Essential construction of the roundabout at the intersection of Oaks and Highway 20 Spur and Ship Harbor Boulevard and Glasgow Way continued through this crisis. This project includes stamped brick pavement, pedestrian and bicycle safety features, and a landscape center. The staff and the crew adapted quickly to get the job completed while prioritizing health and safety of employees and the public. With residents staying home and staying healthy, traffic control went smoothly and allowed crews to work more efficiently. Thank you to the project manager, Steve Lang, and SRV Construction for your dedicated service to provide a safe route for our residents. The Public Works Department continues its annual plan to slurry seal neighborhood streets this year, with the work commencing July 13th. Streets will be done this year will mainly be near D Avenue in the center of the city. A schedule of specific streets being slurry sealed on specific days will be released in the very near future. Installation of a new 8-inch waterline main, fire hydrants on Fidalgo Bay Road from 35th and B Avenue intersection to Mansfield Court has been completed. Our facility staff continues to work early mornings and late evenings to disinfect our city facilities before essential staff arrive, and they're conducting maintenance projects while the facilities are at reduced capacity. They are in the process of working on installing plexiglass shields at our public-facing counter areas. our Public Works Department also has adapted to the crisis quickly, with health and safety of our Anacortes residents and our employees in mind. They're taking on projects and working on efficiency to save the people's money and time. Last week, the city announced the decision to cancel the Kids Fishing Derby, Bark in the Park, Kids Are Best, the Arch Dash, the Anacortes Community Energy Fair, after the county issued recommendations. The city has also issued an appeal to our local event organizers who have not canceled or postponed events scheduled for this summer to review the county's recommendation and cancel or postpone based on their ability. The event organizers of the following events have made that difficult decision to cancel their events: Shipwreck Days, Oyster Run, and the Boat Show, and the Waterfront Festival has been postponed. The City of Anacortes has also made the difficult decision to cancel the 4th of July Town Photo and Patriotic Parade. The community fireworks display is postponed until it's safe for larger groups to gather. The Town Photo is an important event, and this decision was made understanding that our #1 priority is your health and safety. Our Park and Recreation Department is working on a way to celebrate Independence Day virtually, and we'll have more information soon. The class of 2020, although the celebration of our students may look different, our community, our schools, and our families are still just as proud as ever of their accomplishments. The last few months have changed the world. Our graduates are heading off into adulthood and to an entirely different world than expected. The class of 2020 is entering a world which did not even exist a few months ago. These students all have hopes, and there are so many unknown right now, but I believe that living in this unique time in history, although it may be challenging, it also presents many opportunities for our new graduates. The class of 2020 deserves to be honored, and the Anacortes School District is working on plans to ensure the Anacortes District plans to hold virtual graduations on June 15 for Capsani High School seniors, June 16 for the Anacortes Middle School 8th graders, and June 17th for the Anacortes High School seniors. All ceremonies will be broadcast on YouTube Live at 7 p.m. The district is also planning a community auto parade on June 17th. More information will be available soon on the district's website. Though the class of 2020's commencement may look and feel different than any we've seen in the past, but know that we will not let this moment pass without celebration. As of yesterday, May 19th, Island Hospital has tested 930 people, currently reports 28 positive cases, and the total positive hospitalized cases is 6, and we have had no deaths in Anacortes. We must be compassionate towards our neighbors and our friends and our family. We must also act responsibly and wear a mask when we're in public and in the workplace. The county strongly is encouraging individuals to wear a fabric face covering or mask in public situations, including the workplace, at our parks, during essential trips to the grocery store or the doctor's office. Exceptions to this recommendation would include children and people with disabilities, deaf individuals, and others recommended by the doctors not to wear a mask. Wearing a mask is not a substitute for physical distancing practices. Please remain 6 feet apart from others. It's important to take proper care of your masks. They should be washed in the same way you do your laundry. Do not touch your mask with unclean hands. Do not set it down on foreign surfaces, and don't share your mask with others. We see transmission from people who are asymptomatic all the time, and it's important that everyone wear a mask, even if they're feeling well. Face masks and covering will help prevent the spread of the infection by blocking the infection droplets from entering into the air when a contagious person coughs, sneezes, or speaks. The county's drive-in through testing is still available at the parking lot at Skagit Valley College. The drive-through testing site is able to test up to 200 people a day. Because of that, the time it takes to go through the testing process has increased, so please be patient. At this time, any essential worker or anyone over the age of 7 who feels the need to be tested can come get tested. Public health is encouraging people who fall into categories to get tested. Those who are essential workers, anyone with COVID-19 symptoms, those whose physician recommends they be tested, or who lives or works with a congregate setting, pregnant women as well as anyone who is in close contact or has known exposure to COVID-19. The site runs from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. So far, there have been over 2,200 tests, 75 of those with positive results as of May 15th. So now I'm at my question and answer part of the afternoon, and I've only been given one question this week. Are you encouraging the governor to move into phase 2? And if he does not move into phase 2 on June 1st, will you apply any pressure to the state? My answer, yes. Skagit County Commissioners and all the county city mayors are communicating with the governor's office. We have asked to reopen as soon as possible, balanced with COVID-19 health measures by following public health safety. No matter the date, we will continue this dialogue until we have our businesses reopened. So in conclusion today, during these unprecedented times, the city of Anacortes has responded to a combined public health and economic crisis. We, along with our business owners and our healthcare providers, have adapted to new realities. While individuals in our community have been under extreme stress, we have been involved in constant communication and partnership to respond to COVID-19. The communication and the partnerships we have built are setting us up for the strongest possible economic recovery and strengthening of our communities long term. At the city, we work to be the voice of unity in these emotional and volatile times. We're talking and working daily as our local businesses and healthcare community try to interpret the latest rules. We focused on health, mental health, and making sure that all citizens have access to resources like food and shelter. We have led by example, wearing a mask to emphasize the relationship between wearing a mask and achieving full economic recovery. We've canceled local events, and that's been the toughest part of the job. We've been creating and finding new ways to celebrate, like working with our high school and the class of 2020 to celebrate with a parade of closed vehicles starting at the high school, proceeding to Commercial Avenue on June 17th. We're also talking about a virtual town photo for the 4th of July because that's one of our proudest traditions. And yes, we will have fireworks. It'll be this fall or maybe on New Year's Eve, but we will have fireworks. We have much to celebrate. We're still Anacortes, and we're providing open spaces for people to get outdoors. Our farmers markets are being done in a safe way. Our forest lands and trails remain open. Our planning department is working with restaurants to provide outdoor seating all summer long throughout the city. We've focused on education, not enforcement, during these COVID times, reminding citizens not to gather in large groups at the lake or our parks. We've learned to Zoom and use social media in a more robust way as we communicate with all our partners on a daily basis. I personally communicate weekly with the hospital, the school district, the pool, the county commissioners, all the city mayors, the city council, all directors in the city, the health department, the Chamber of Commerce, our state legislators. And our daily challenge is to balance our health and our economic health and staying the course. I know we're all fatigued, but we must remember every day to be patient and kind, teach, and understand. We are doing an amazing job here in Anacortes. We've done so much to slow and flatten the curve of COVID-19, and we will be reopening our community very soon. So in closing today, I want to remind all of you to remember all those who have died in our nation's service. We will celebrate Memorial Day this coming Monday, the 25th of May. Please take a moment on Monday to pause. Think about our country. Put a flag in your yard. Visit one of your loved ones in the cemetery. We will not have a community celebration, but we can all remember and honor those who gave their lives in defense of our country, the ultimate sacrifice. So I ask each of you to continue to do your part, and we will prevail. Thank you for being with me today, and I'll see you next week.